Well, hello there, and welcome back to Perplexion, where you can see we did a little bit of building. So, like I said at the start of the season, I wanted to work on terraforming, and I've been talking about how we're going to kind of change up these mountains that are around here and build our own custom ones, and I think this counts as changing the mountains, seeing as this is a 200 block tall mountain right here. And it will definitely be the biggest build I've ever made once we complete it, so it's definitely something we're going to be working on for a while. But I also did a few other things, such as get a beacon. So I'll let you watch the battle. So yeah, now we have a beacon and it has haste. And actually, we're gonna need a lot more stone for this because all I've really got is actually just this. This is all we have left. All of this is dirt that I've been tearing down this mountain with. But I think I need to spend a few hours or so just tearing this mountain down so we can get a bunch of stone. So let's actually move this beacon down to the bottom and then let's get to mining. And as you can see, we've only made a dent. But we still have already gotten 4 double chests full of stone blocks that we can start using for this mountain. I know that this is going to be nowhere near enough, and neither is this mountain teared down. Like, I don't think the stone in this mountain is going to be anywhere near enough what we need for this. Although it will be hollow, it's not like we're filling it in, because otherwise I wouldn't be tearing this down. But we're going to go in with stone over the next couple weeks and filling in this entire mountain, shaping it out, and then after is where we kind of paint it with all the different textures and different blocks that we want to use, and I think maybe even do a little bit of a snow-capped mountain toward the top. But I think we want to start using some of the stone and actually just get working on a little bit of this area. I think I want to start over here. You can see before I started digging this down, we can tell that I already started working on this little area here. It'll be a cliff and a slight plateau right here until it heads up into the rest of the mountain. But I want to finish out this area, maybe kind of bring it up and possibly even build the actual cliffside itself. So that we can have this, our little house here for our storage area. We can have it kind of blocked off, like this part of the mountain will be done. And then I think we can kind of move into the terrain down here because we don't want to use vanilla terrain. We want to paint it, color it, and maybe add some trees today too, so we can start really pulling together all the different pieces. The mountain just won't be textured just yet, but you won't see much of it with the trees in here. Now I know that this, in comparison to the entire mountain, this is like nothing. It is a tiny fraction of what we need to do. But I want a break of just placing blocks, and I kind of want to start doing that painting thing that I was talking about. So I'm not completely sure this is going to be the end palette, But I think down at these lower parts, we can use some of these darker colors and we can transition it up into the mossy areas and some grass along these flatter plateaus where grass might grow. So I'm going to take these blocks and I'm just going to kind of start painting and placing wherever I want because I don't really have a plan. Not super used to terraforming and I just need to try. All I'm going to do is kind of come in here, break some of these blocks out, and just start kind of placing them around. We'll try and conserve some resources and only use the things that are visible. But we're going to just place a bunch of these blocks in, kind of transition it around, throw some different blocks, the tough, and then blend it out throughout this entire thing. Some cobble, and then it'll kind of turn into this andesite. And I need to go repair my pick. So these small areas, I think we might just have some patches maybe of dark spots and mostly light. Not completely sure, but we can always come back and change it later if we don't like it. So I think I'm going to go in after repairing my pick at the Enderman farm. We're just going to go in, kind of just do this bottom part for now, and then we'll come through and do a bunch of other stuff later. However, before I do go out and do that, I want to mention that I want to try and make this, I guess, more realistic. It's Minecraft, it's not going to be perfect, and I'm not going to know everything, but just thinking for texture wise, things are going to weather based on like erosion and stuff. So if I think about where water is going to run, it's kind of going to like, specifically for this area, right here in this little slit right here, I think we can possibly add a little more texture along the sides right here, because that makes more sense for where like water would run and it would erode this area. This is kind of what I've come up with. It's got moss at the top, transitions into stone, and then down into the deep slate and darker stones and stuff. I think it works for now. Like, it looks good. It's not a bad mountain slash stony work kind of thing. But the only issue is I don't know if it'll look good with all the trees and everything in the forest. So if we should change anything, let me know. If you like it, then also let me know. We'll see. We might change our mind after we put the trees in, but it's not a super hard thing to change. So I think I'll leave just this section for now, kind of let it sit. That's another thing that could help, is just letting it sit, and then we can decide, keep looking at it, and maybe we'll like it, maybe we won't. But we can always rip it out and, or not rip it out, but like take out the colors and change them around a bit. It's not going to be too hard to do. But I think for now it works. At the top we got moss and grass mixed in. I didn't use any grass on the sides, just so that there's no dirt on the side. That might change later as well. I might add some dirt down the side, or it just might stay like this, keep it more stony with some moss on top. But we're gonna put, I think maybe like probably two trees right here. Maybe one there and one there. It'll kind of cover this up. Not necessarily to cover it, but to add more to it. And then we'll have trees around here, because this is of course going to be a forest, so this won't be a plains anymore. But I think this is the only part of the mountain that we're going to do for now. We'll let it sit. But you might notice that I'm also out of rockets, and the issue isn't the gunpowder anymore, but rather the sugarcane. And we don't have an automatic sugarcane farm, so I think I'm going to go make one of those super quick. So I need to grab my redstone stuff, and then we can either head out to the creeper farm, or I might build it here so that while we're working on stuff out here, the sugarcane will be growing passively. Alright, for this farm, we will need observers, redstone dust, and we're also going to need some pistons and stuff so that we can actually break the sugarcane. So we're going to need a little bit of wood, which we're kind of low on, but we got logs in our inventory actually from that tree we chopped down. So if I just craft this super quick, and then over here, we should have some iron, yep. And then take some of this redstone, take some of this redstone, turn it into dust, and then if we just search piston super quick, that'll be plenty. That's all we need. And I want to make some more observers super quick, so we'll need some quartz, some more cobblestone, and I think just redstone dust, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll grab some more of this, craft that, and then we'll search observer. And 10 more observers. It'll give us a good start, so we can at least throw some extra materials and stuff in here, just in case we want to make more. So we'll grab some more cobblestone, and then we'll probably grab some of this stone, or we can use the stone we have here. Or we could try and use maybe just some like diorite or something we're not going to use as much of in this build. Oh, actually, that gives me an idea. Maybe we should incorporate some of these other stones up in the mountain. We can add some more of the vanilla type stones to it. So there's random geodes and stuff like there would be. Just different stone types mixed in rather than just this one type of stone. I think it could break it up more, help a little bit. Because especially as we get up to this tall bit, it's just kind of going to be one straight up to this, just one curved mountain all the way up to the top, which is 200 blocks. So all stone will look a little weird. So we'll have to find a way to texture on a larger scale, which is something I have not done. So, and I think we'll actually just build the sugarcane farm here, you know, so we can passively gain stuff. We're going to put it down here though. It's going to be a temporary thing, so no extra building or anything. But we're not going to put it up here because as we tear this down, it's going to leave a little floating sugarcane farm up there. And even though it's going to be temporary, I don't want to be using rockets to get to the thing that's going to be making us the paper for the rockets. But I think another thing that we could be using in this farm is possibly another auto crafter so that all the sugarcane will automatically be turned into paper for us. And we don't have to go through the trouble of doing that. So we just need gunpowder paper and throw it into our crafting table. But with that, I think we have almost everything we need actually, because there's a slight change that I'm going to make. Rather than doing the typical minecart hopper that I would normally do like we did at the bamboo farm, we're going to do something a little bit different involving iron bars. Now, I believe this design that I'm going to go for is actually similar to a design made by Tango. I think it's the one I'm thinking of. It's going to be pretty much the same thing. I'm just kind of winging it from memory, so we're just going to kind of go for it and see what happens right after we sleep. Or not, because I don't have a bed, so we're just going to do this through the night. But what we're going to need is some slabs, so we'll make some stone ones for now. And I believe something to do with stairs as well, so let's do this super quick. So all we're going to do here is just put this in the ground so that we don't have to build anything around it. We're going to go 8 blocks, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we place a water bucket in there, it should go to the end. Yep, and then a hopper will go here. Get these zombies out of here. Oh, thank you. And now we need a hopper. So I do have wood on me. We'll just craft a hopper super quick. There we go. And then throw that way. And we can put a chest here later. But from here, we're going to need... actually, I think there's something else I need to do. Unless... Never mind. Ignore that. Alright, I'm going to light this area up a little bit to keep some mobs from spawning. And I can see a little bit better. And so can you guys, because I'm sure the video is dark. But now that we've done that, let's... I think the next thing we're going to do is just place the sugarcane super quick. Alright, next we're going to place the pistons on here. We're going to need some all on this level right here. Just like this. Boom, 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 boom. And that should be all the pistons that we need. We're not going to expand this at all, so it'll be pretty slow, but it'll be usable for now because we'll be hanging around this area. And then next, I believe we need some observers and some redstone placed on top. Okay, so we're going to place the saw blocks up here. Boom, 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 boom. Pop. Now, we need our observers like this. So this sugar cane, we're going to need an observer for it. And then an observer, I believe, going like this. So when that triggers, it'll trigger this. And then we need blocks here and here. So then we just use the redstone here. Not there. But we're going to run along here. And then on this side, we're going to do the exact same thing, just backwards like this. So boom, 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 boom. And there's our redstone. Now, I believe this might actually just work as is. We'll wait here for a second and we'll check, but I think that might be it. Although I am forgetting one thing. The iron bars are going to go along right here. Boom, boom, like that. Just like that. Oh, I'm actually going to make sure, yep, just like that. No, not the text, it goes up. That should be good right there. Now we're going to turn all these into source blocks really quick. And then what we're gonna do is take this stair, block it like this, I believe, and then water, or not waterlog, but place stairs here that will be waterlogged. Oh, there's a zombie out here. I don't think we actually need this here. I think that can be a solid block, and we'll place some solid blocks there so nothing can get in. Oh, or no sugarcane can fall out. I'll take that back, thank you. And now from here, we're gonna actually take one of these and run it along here. What this is gonna do is if any sugarcane falls right on here, like right on the edge and not fully in the water, it'll get caught by this water and bring it all the way down. And just like that, that should be everything. So I'm gonna sit here, probably dig in the ground and kind of go in free cam and watch for a bit so nothing's gonna hit or try and kill me. And I'll sit here and watch and I'll let you guys know if it's gonna work. Alright, so it's working, but we kind of need to place some blocks here because that sugarcane actually just flew past, and we actually already have some in here. But let's place a chest right here so that we can start collecting this. We could just kind of hang out here for a little bit and let our sugarcane build up. Not going to place it like that. We're going to connect it like that. Okay, we got some sugarcane in there, and now we just gotta wait for quite a long time. This is a small farm, but I think I'm going to go do something else while I sit here and AFK. So go back in our hole, maybe place a torch this time, and free cam. And now I'm just going to sit here for a bit. I just want to jut in super quick before I show you guys the finished part of the forest that we're working on. The part that you guys just saw me start to build. And I wanted to kind of show you the process of how I've been making these trees. Now, they're not all custom, well, they're all custom made, but they're not all individual designs. And the ones that I've built so far are actually only from 2 different designs, and they've been rotated around. But I'm in my creative world right now, and I wanted to show you a little bit of what I'm doing. So right here we have 10 more, or not 10 more, 8 more trees to make it 10. These ones don't have the leaves yet, but I wanted to show you how I'm actually making these. So I'm building up this stem to different heights. Oops, we're gonna just replace that, maybe fix that. And then you can see that they're all kind of different heights, and all the leaves are going to start, all the branches at least, are all kind of starting at slightly different heights. This one's probably our highest one, and I think that that one's probably our lowest. But we have these, you know, different size trees like there would be, and we have all these leaves that need to be placed. But what I'm going to do, or what I am doing is actually going in with slabs, stairs, and fences to build out these branches. And you can see they kind of get shorter and shorter as they go up. This one might need to be fixed a little bit, kind of through it. So like I'm just kind of looking at all these, and as I think that something needs to be changed, I kind of just go in. So there's a slight slope in each of these. You can see it on the actual tree with the leaves. They have a very, very steep slight slope that goes through here, just to make them a little more realistic. But they're kind of like spruce trees, conifer trees, if you will, that would drop needles or stuff like that. So they've got a little bit more of this pale, almost bluish tint leaf, and then some of these acacia leaves in here that add a little bit of pop of color. And even in here, we can see that I'm using moss and some grass pieces, and it's not super noticeable, but if you're paying attention, you can see them in there, and they just add a little bit of life to them. And actually the resource pack that I'm using, like this, which is what I use in the world normally, it's just easier to build without it, so it's not so cluttered. You can see it actually makes it look a whole lot better. So it kind of adds that same feel that the grass does, but that grass just extends it a little bit, so it's still visible, adds that pop of color. So there's variance in the leaves, and then this bushy leaf pack just accentuates that even more. But what I'm going to do here is go through and place all these leaves around these branches, kind of puff it out where I think it needs it, cut down where I don't want it, and yeah, we're going to go through all these different trees and place them in the world. And because we have so many designs, I mean, it's only 10. But if you think about it, if each of these can be rotated in 4 different directions, 10 trees, we have 40 different ways that we can build these trees. So that'll build plenty of different variants that we can do within just one area, and then we can continue repeating throughout the entire forest, and you probably won't even know. And we can even add some weird random trees that might be way taller, way shorter, and we'll add foliage later. Okay, I built a few trees, not a bunch, because I need to actually figure out where the mountain's gonna like hit the ground before I build any more. And I also don't want to build too many before we decide if we actually like it or not, because I haven't fully decided if the colors are right or if the height is right or anything like that, or spacing even. But here they are. Here's the trees. Let me actually turn that off so you can't see that. There's a beacon here, so it's hard to see, but let me actually take this down super quick. And there's the beacon gone. Okay, I'll put that back up later when I work on it. But yeah, so these are the trees we have so far. I'm thinking right here, I made a clearing on purpose because I think the path will go through here and the sun's setting, so I'll talk about this quick. I'm not sure if we like, or if I like how bright these leaves are. I might tone it down a little, which does kind of mean changing the schematics and stuff and going through and changing all of it. But I also like it at the same time. It's kind of weird. I think I need more of the mountain behind it and also more trees to figure it out. But we'll let this sit for a little bit, and I think this is what we're going to do for the episode, just like for trees, just so I can get your guys' opinion on it, so that you guys have time to kind of think about it, and then I can go through and see what you guys think before I make any major decisions about it. But I think that might be it for like this building area right now. Although maybe later in the episode we might come through and add some foliage, test out some bushes, maybe smaller trees, like maybe 6 to 9 blocks tall, like right about there where my cursor is. Just smaller trees to fill up this empty space, because it looks just like a bunch of sticks, because that's all it kind of is. And I think I might change some of this, because I've realized that in the schematics, I kind of put this tough and mud part of the like log straight up like too high. Like there, that looks better because you can see the wood, but this one you can't, so I might go through and change some of these so that the wood extends down a little further, because these ones look better in my opinion because it transitions. But yeah, I think the next thing I want to do is maybe work on a little bit more texturing for this, but for that I think I want to use maybe some light gray wool or something similar, just a lighter block that we can kind of come through and just put streaks or blobs throughout this. But in order to get that amount of wool that we're going to need for this mountain, I think that means a wool farm. So I'm going to gather some materials up, and then we can find a place around here where we can build up a wool farm. Just some final touches with these glass panes right here, and bam, we have a fire watch tower. Okay, now you're probably like, why'd you build a fire watch tower? You said you were going to get stuff for a sheep farm, and we're actually going to do that right now. This is actually just a marker for a sheep farm, and I think this is something that we're going to do all the way around the mountain and across our entire base, where these towers, these firewatch towers that would normally be in a forest like this, are actually going to be markers for different types of farms that we're going to put around the base. So below this farm in the mountain, we'll put a sheep farm, and we can do this around other places and put firewatch towers to mark them. Now this one's obviously not decorated just yet. We'll do that in a bit. And I actually just am not completely sure about this roof though, because it's very boxy. It's a very basic boxy tower, but I feel like it kind of makes sense, because if we come down here, let's just pretend that this is where we're going to see it from. It'll probably have a different view from a path, but if we came down here, I feel like it looks okay. Like just from down here, you can tell what it is. And I think that tree kind of scales it down. On this mountain, it'll look better, I think, once we have the rest of this mountain. And then on this side of it, we don't have the mountain yet, of course. However, I still think it looks good just from this side. And there will be trees all the way along this thing. So anyways, and the mountain will be actually just right here coming down. So I think it will look better once we have the rest of the base in. And we have this little radio tower kind of thing. So if there's a fire, they can ping something else and get the helicopters out here to put out the fire and stuff like that. So we'll decorate that on the inside later, but I think underneath this, we need to find a way to get down that's not super visible right here, and then we can build a sheep farm down there. Now, if we fly in here real quick, just gonna click that really quick because it was open. We can see our lever right there, but if you notice, it's not super visible, so it won't ruin our build in any way or interfere with it, with how it looks or anything. And we can already see the dirt block because it's been open for a while. But if we come over here and flick this lever, there's a little piston door that opens this up down to a waterlogged chest. So if we fall down here super quick, we get to see our super ugly room that I have right now. There's no decoration, no anything. It's just functional for now. We will come through and decorate it later. I just don't have the motivation to do that right now. And really, I just need it for the wool. If I could, or if I really wanted to, I could just build this out in the open like I did with the sugarcane farm. But we're going to need this all season long, probably. So I might as well put it in a permanent spot. Basically, what's happening here is there's a chest. We'll come on this side super quick. We can see that we have 16 different slots. 3 of them already have pieces of wool in them. It's just marking what is what. So there will be a chest under each of these. I just haven't placed them in yet. And each of these chests has a hopper line going back. Now, there's, for now, 3 modules that I'm going to do in each line once we get to each color. But for now, we have the 3. Basically, what's happening here, I'll just explain it quick. This dirt block, it'll grow into grass like this. Here, this is perfect. This sheep will end up eating that. This observer, there's an observer behind this grass block right here. It's observing that grass block right there. So once the sheep eats it, which we might be able to get to see right now, it'll observe that, send a signal into the stone block, which this redstone dust picks up, and then it powers this dispenser with a bunch of shears and shears the sheep. And inside of that grass block right there, there's a minecart hopper that'll pick up any items that fall. So maybe the sheep will eat and we can watch it possibly be demonstrated, or maybe not. This one might do it too. It's also grass, but I'm not going to sit and wait. Basically, there's a hopper minecart, and here we go. There we go. It picks it up, and it sends it into this hopper line that goes into the chest. So we only have 23 right now. It's not working super fast. If we wanted to speed it up, we could always extend it that way. That's the nice thing about this, is it's super compact. These even share walls, so they're all right next to each other. But this could go as far back as we want. Our only limitation here is going to be we're going to hit the mountain. So we don't have infinite space, but for now we'll just do the 3 modules. Eventually I'll expand it to do all 16 colors, so we can use it for whatever build we want, wherever, however we want. And we won't have to worry about it, and this will be running in the background while we're working around the base. Eventually, of course, this will get decorated. I just am not going to get to it today or this episode. It's probably a later project that we'll work on. I don't need it to look good right now, just functionality. So I think I'm going to go work on something else super quick. For the rest of the episode, I think we just go and work on tiny little projects. The first one we're going to do is move our portal. At least for now, it's probably not going to be the final spot, but I think it needs to be moved. And actually, I probably should have done it in the nether first. Whatever, we'll just go for it. Alright, I think for now at least we should probably put it over on this mountain. This is kind of where we're seeing everything from. It's where we keep going to look and have a vantage point over everything. The only problem is it might link up to a different portal. And you think, well, why? Because there's no other portals, but there really is, because under our storage area here, I have 2 chunk loaders. One here and one here. Because if I want to leave this area, I don't want my sorter to break, and I don't want it to get unloaded and become ruined, because I'm not smart enough to understand how that works, so I don't want to try and fix it. So I put chunk loaders down there to constantly be loading that area down there, so I can leave whenever my sorter is working. But I think let's try and put a portal up here and see if it works. So all we're going to do here is tear down this portal and move it to match up with the cords in the overworld with a new portal. And hopefully we'll be set, and hopefully it won't take us to the chunk loaders that we have. I think they're actually just like right below us in the nether. Yep, right there. So let's hope. Okay, I've gone ahead and just disabled those chunk loaders because honestly I don't think it's worth it. I don't think I'm leaving enough to have that worth it. So we'll just hook them up and deal with that chunk loader later if we really want it, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. We'll just have to sit around while stuff is sorting. So now we've got that portal linked up. Now there's of course other little bits and bobs that we can do around the world, but I think I'm going to leave that for another episode. And I think I'm going to leave it here. But before I do that, I think we should name this mountain. So I've come up with a name, and it has to do with the title of the episode, of course. You guys have already seen it, but it's actually not what it's called. That's the English translation, and it's called Mount Aeonia, which means forever or eternal, as it says in the title. And it's Greek. It's a Greek lettering thing. I'll put it up on screen now so you can see what it actually looks like. It's super weird lettering, but it translates to eternal. So this is going to be called Mount Aeonia, which means eternal. So eternal mountain, basically. And I think it's just a fun word mostly, but I think it works. So this is going to be Mount Aeonia, and it's going to be a hot minute until we actually have it done. So it'll be an eternity until we have it done. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here. We've done many, many things this episode and spent many, many hours on this mountain and the trees and stuff. So of course, let me know if we like the coloration on the trees and the mountain itself. If there's anything we should change, or if you like it and we should keep it, let me know too. And I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, where maybe we'll work on some more redstone projects or something similar.